Hello. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Star's Beer Review. Hi, Greg. Tonight, we're going to show a little bit of support to what's going on in current events by treating ourselves to some black lagers or dark lagers. Hold on a second.
Arnold is also celebrating.
Yeah,
well, not
sorry.
He's showing
noise going on in the background because I had the window open. But tonight, we are going to be doing black lagers. Or dark lagers, or Schwarzbiers, or even Baltic Porters, just as long as it's dark and it's a lager. Obviously, today the news going on right now is it's pretty shitty, and it's gone on long enough. I won't get into too many details. Just it's just something I wanted to show a little bit of support of, and to be totally honest, I'm actually surprised at whose idea this was to do a beer analysis, like a bring your own beer analysis tonight of dark lagers, because that was actually this guy up here in the top corner. And yeah, I know against my better judgment, I'm going to bring him over. Hey, Greg.
I just want to say for the record, I want to include stouts, but Nick said no stouts. And I was upset.
Okay, that's great. But yeah, I was kind of impressed that this was actually your idea, considering you're the one that's like got the record of getting chat hangouts taken down.
Oh, hey, anyway, let's be honest. We're four white guys who really aren't qualified to discuss this topic, so we're just showing support in the stupidest way we can find out, and that's what we're doing. We're showing support in our own weird way.
I couldn't have said that better myself, man. Wow.
No,
you're scaring me. Anyway, considering you're first up, Greg, how are you doing tonight?
All things considered, I'm doing well. I'm currently enjoying the rest of this beer. Sorry, Nick, I know we're not putting other beers on here. And looking forward to doing this beer again, which we've done before. But I don't.
We did the regular check fire. We didn't do the dark.
Oh, really? Okay, good. I thought we did this before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that beer. And otherwise, all things considered, I'm doing well. Happy Pride Month. Happy Sex Month, regardless of who or what you want to have sex with. Cheers.
All right, and next up, and Ashley has to follow that up.
Yeah, how do you follow that?
How do you follow that? Ashley, how are you making out tonight? What did you bring?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, happy to revisit a style of beer that is probably one of my favorite styles, actually, black lagers. So today with me, I have brought from Silversmith Brewing the Black Lager, which is probably the most, I guess, well-renowned black lager in Ontario, sort of, almost. I don't know. It feels like Silversmith started doing this, 5-6 years ago or 5 years ago. Ever since then, their Schwarzbier has been sort of the standard that a lot of people sort of measure themselves up to. So I'm happy to get into it tonight.
Nice. Yeah, a second, I'm going to mute Greg for a second. Yeah, the Silversmith. I remember having that 6 years ago when I was in Ontario for the first time on Beer Festival. Chad took us all there.
Nice.
Cool. It's nice to see that again. I noticed that it wasn't readily available on the LCBO anymore.
So just within the last 3 or 4 months, they've actually no, I've been in quarantine for 3 months. Probably in the last 6 months, they've put this into cans. Oh. So they used to have it in a $6.50 bottle, I think.
Yeah,
and it was way overpriced. But now that they're canning it, it's a little bit more reasonable. So
nice. What's the price on them now?
I have no idea.
All right, fine.
I'm going to say probably $3.50 or something. $3.50, $3.60, premium local craft beer. So
that's pretty decent price. That's a lot better value than it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, by far. Yeah, the bottles were stupid expensive. And and just to go into it really quickly, it is only 5%. It's not like this is high gravity or anything like that. Even at the current price point, it's probably still a little high, but whatever.
If you want to hop in, Kent, Craig, come in. You got that? I'll accept that one.
Krent.
Might as well. More people in here. And of course, we got Beer Nomicron. Radar.
I have a DAB product of Germany. Site 1868. I'm guessing that's when it was created. Anyways, it's the dark beer from Dab, smooth dark beer imported from Germany, brewed according to the German beer purity laws. Oh fuck, maybe I shouldn't have read that. Anyways, that's what it says on the can. I didn't have this particular one before. I've had Dab, the regular one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm curious to know how this will taste.
Yeah, because you were here. You were here when we did the Dortmunder, the white one, the export.
No,
a couple weeks ago.
I was the week. This is my third time in a row. This was 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
I was in the week after, and yeah.
Okay, but you have had the Dortmunder export before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that, and there's the Maibach. I think we've had the Maibach in the what's this the export here before, but I would love to try that dark at some point. For some reason, I like dark lagers the best. All right, and while we're waiting to see if Craig decides to join us tonight, because I will take a black Kolsch on that, if you want. Anyway, I'm going to introduce myself here. I'll take it off a radar screen. Hi, I'm Maxwell Starr, and obviously tonight I'm not doing Czechvar Dark, but tonight I will be doing something from a brewery out of Moncton, New Brunswick called Flying Boats Brewing. This is their Hercules Black Lager, which is, I believe, 5.0% ABV, like the other ones. Yep, right there, 5% ABV. Never had it, actually, so this is interesting. I think this is fairly new. Good time for anything. All right, so I'm not sure if there's really a need to read the comments, considering we already know. Ashley Sexton's in there saying, cheers, everyone. Or do you want to read them, Nash?
No, I was just like, cheers, everyone. What's everyone drinking? Craig is drinking a black Kolsch. He was not aware that we had switched to dark lagers.
Yeah, we posted it a couple of days ago in the chat, but still.
Oh, you're not paying attention to the chat. It gets buried. So this, actually, I just confirmed this came in at $3.65, and they have been making this beer since 2011, so 9 years.
Nice.
Not since, because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I think my can of black lager here is still like $4.50 or some crazy thing. So it's just
really, eh?
Yeah.
I also have I bought 2 cans of this, and I also bought 2 cans of Dab as well, the Dab Dark. So yeah,
nice.
It'd be cool to hear what Radar thinks of it, since I bought a can of it as well.
I thought you've drank these ones a lot.
I have.
Anyway, so moving right along, what do we usually do next on one of these? So I guess we'll go cycle through back over to Greg. And Greg, what's your personal history with the beer that you brought?
I have zero personal history. I've had a regular Czech bar, which I thought this was. Didn't realize there was a regular, and this is the regular dark Czech bar, I suppose. And I've never had this, to my knowledge, and I've had the regular one exactly once. So that's my exciting history. Nick, do you have like a written history for this beer?
No,
all that stuff?
Well, I do have a written history for Czechvar.
I think you should.
I don't know if I've got anything for. How long ago we do it? I'm not digging it up. It was a while ago. We did it before, I think 2018 or something.
Go back.
It was a while ago.
Go back to Nick's history. Listen to him say that, then we'll just add on. Then we decide to make a dark beer, because why not?
Well, a lot of German breweries or the breweries of that region will make like a Dunkel or something, a dark lager, or different styles for taste. Anyway, let's go over to Ash, because I'm sure he's got more extensive history with Silversmith's Black.
Yes and no. I'll be honest. So between the Silversmith Black Lager and the Schwarzbier ale that they make at the Cayman Kettle, I'm a bigger proponent of the Cayman Kettle one. But my history with this beer is the first time I had this was when I had actually gone to a brewery tour of Silversmith. Myself, my wife, my best friend from Calgary, and my mother. And I'd lined up a brewery tour of Silversmith and Osthouse, and we went to both. And just like with any brewery tour, they give you the rundown. But Silversmith is super small, so you're basically, they just took you into their brew house, and they just handed you beer, and then we just sort of sat around and talked. I mean, you didn't have to tour anything; they could literally point at what everything does, and the whole steps and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see how the really small operations work. And I'm pretty sure that was the first time I'd had this beer. And I mean, as I said, I mean, I don't necessarily search this beer out. Usually, if I'm going for a black lager or black ale or something like that, I'll just go grab one from Cayman Kettle. But that was only because they didn't have this in a can format. They just had it in bottles. I didn't want to spend like north of $8 on a bottle of Schwarzbiers. So that's that. So I've had it probably about a dozen times, if I had to say so. But always a good beer. So
yeah. I remember liking it back then.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the history with Radar is going to be short. By the way, hi, Craig. We'll get to you in a second. Okay, Radar, what's your history? I know it's short.
With Tab as the white can, that's it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite European beers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's nice. I mean, I've never been to Germany, so.
Well, yeah, the only one here that has been to Germany is probably Craig. I'm not sure.
No,
anyway,
I mean,
well, never mind then. All right, so yeah, Radar. I know you really like to dab, but I think you were saying something about was it your dad, your stepdad, or somebody used to buy.
He bought the one we had. Was it the one last week or the week before? It was a European beer, and he had that one.
Urkel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was that.
It was Pilsner Urkel. We did another one, didn't we? We did like 3 bloggers in a row, didn't we?
Well, we did dab.
You dab.
Pilsner Urkel.
We did
Lech.
Lech, yeah, that's the one I've had before with my stepdad, former stepdad.
You can thank Agnes. She remembered that.
Thanks, Agnes.
Thank you, Agnes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, cool. I knew figured it would be a short history. So let's get down to somebody who just joined us. Craig, welcome aboard. And how are you doing tonight, first of all?
All right. Just, craziness going on. I'm clearing out this room at the moment. It's going to be turned into a bedroom, so I'll be moving at some point, reviewing.
Yeah, wow. I noticed you got a whole lot less beers in there now.
Yeah, well, most of it's down in the basement, as you say.
In the basement.
Apart from, so I've got a beer from Scotland. It's from the Tempest Brewing Company. It's their Black Kolsch. 4.8%. I've never had a black Kolsch before, so
I've never even heard of a black Kolsch before.
Sounds kooky.
Sounds good.
It's just a Kolsch with obviously roasted malts. That's it. So it's got usual ingredients: water, malted barley, wheat, oats, yeast, and hops. The hop is Columbus hops. It's 25 IBUs. Malts are Munich Crystal, Chocolate, and Cafra free.
Yep.
Carafe or something.
Carafe Special 3.
Yeah.
I love that.
And there's
Kafka.
There's the it's out of focus, but yeah. Anyway, don't know. So just bought it out. Haven't really had a taste yet. New on my Apollo glass. It's quite sweet. It reminds me of there's a slight kind of almost where it's the hops or whatever it is, a combination of the hops and the malts. It's coming across like an aroma like a black IPA. It shouldn't make sense really for being a Kolsch, but then it's got like a slight tropical note. Maybe they they really hop this thing up, maybe, and let's give it off some of these kind of. It's getting through the kind of roasted malts, the hops kind of thing.
Yeah, neat. So you've never had that before? Right. Yeah, you've never had it.
No, I've only got one. No. It's just I've had it for probably 6 months sat in the fridge. I thought, I could use that maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so let's pan over to me, and I'll give my history with this beer, which is absolutely nothing. I've had beers from Flying Boats before. I'm trying to remember when these guys first came along. Where are they located? I think it's Dieppe, New Brunswick. Yeah. Let me do a quick Google search because I'll find my first Untapped on anything from these guys. I used to be a bit better at updating my Untapped for what beers. I've been terrible the last couple of years, but I remember.
Oh, you're terrible. Yeah.
I remember the first beer I had from Flying Boats was a stout, which was their double oatmeal stout. Yeah. How long ago did I have that?
No,
2016. So they've been around since at least 2016. What was that, Ash?
So a double oatmeal stout. So was it like an imperial stout, or did they just double the oats? Like it's a pretty misleading title.
My comments say here, well, yeah, it's just like an ordinary dry stout made with oatmeal, but my comments say it's a bit thin.
And so obviously they didn't put double the oats in.
No, it'd be pretty thick if they put double oats in. I don't even know what part of it was double. It was just using a name, I think.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, I'll get my thoughts on this one in a moment, but let's mind if I get you to Ash to read. There's only one comment there.
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's like, he's making fun of you. Nick saves his notes. What a nerd. Nerd. Stop saving your notes, man.
Nerd.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Cheers, Lee. Hope
Cheers,
you're drinking something good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
We're eventually going to go back. We were, like, tonight, we were going to do, we originally intended to do Hazy State, but nobody else could get it. First of all, everybody last week was like, yeah, we can get that. I can get that.
Actually, Craig could probably get that before I can. Hazy State from
Collective Arts Hazy State.
Well, I mean, I could have, it was out of stock at one place I knew that had it, but even if I could have got it, it would have been like 2 weeks to get it with the postal services.
It's just fucking
absolutely wonderful. So,
It's been hard to get for a while in Ontario.
Yeah. I mean, we live within 100 kilometers of the brewery, and I can't get it anywhere in my city. But I
think Nick mentioned it a few months ago as a possibility, and I checked my area, and there was like nowhere within like 100 kilometers had it. Now there are like a little close place that have it, but it's not well stocked anywhere.
Well, I think Redbeard mentioned that he sees it at a lot of the like supermarkets. So it may have just been a SKU that they've shifted away from the LCBO to
the supermarkets, and you had to go to a Stobies.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways,
nothing
to do with the beers you're drinking, though.
Yeah, what was I going to go for this? I'm drawing a blank on what I was just thinking of.
I don't know. We were going to do Hazy State.
Yeah, okay. We were gonna do. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm distracted, Lily.
Hasty
we were gonna do Hazy State, and then we changed it up. Like last week. Well, we can't do that. Let's do saisons because I got a nice saison stored away that I could drink for that. And then everybody's like, can't we wait and do that in a couple of weeks' time because saisons aren't out yet? It's not summer yet, so
and ironically, when going to get this beer, I actually found a really good barrel-aged saison that I
Dominion City just came out with a saison.
Oh, yeah, but it's probably a little too early just because saison, a bit more of a summer beer. Anyway, and of course, with recent events, Greg had the idea of doing this black lager, so I'm at least accrediting to him.
And we're smart.
Yeah, no,
great idea.
I'm still surprised. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, it won't happen next.
Yeah, I know. All right. Let's go over to Greg and say, what's your thoughts with Check for Dark?
I really like this. It's I normally don't like black lagers because they just taste kind of like, I don't even know what they taste. They're usually too light. They don't have a lot of flavor to them. They're kind of just like having a lager, but just like less flavorful because it's usually I find like for instance, Silversmith Stock Lager. Not a big fan of that. Yeah, I'd rather just have a regular lager, but this is actually nice. This is actually better than a lot of sort of regular light stouts because it's got a really nice roasty toastiness. Almost tastes to me like an oatmeal stout, and yeah, it's very tasty. Well, for style, I'm going to give it like a 9.5 because
Wow.
I don't like black lagers, and this one's actually quite good. That it probably might be the best one I've ever had. I don't know. I'd have to look through Untapped, which is my holy bible of all that stuff. And
Is that the Budweiser?
I'm quite enjoying this. I would actually buy this again, especially since I don't think it was very expensive.
Wow. Yeah, my internet cut out. What did you give for a final rating? I'm not doing math or anything. I'm just
I
curious.
give a 9.5 and an 8.
All right. There you go. Okay, let's move over to Mr. Ashley Sexton and see, what did you think of Silversmiths?
So yeah, I mean, it's a very popular beer. It's a well respected beer in the area, in Ontario, for the style. On the nose, I get there's like a little bit of like a black licorice note to it, which is pretty interesting. There's also a touch of like a residual like malt sweetness to it. No real hop presence on the nose whatsoever, but I mean, this is very lightly hopped anyways. This isn't about the hops. This is all about the malts and the balance. But on the nose, I pick up a little bit of roast, not too much chocolate or anything like that. So really the aroma is more driven by, just a slight like malt presence, like a little bit of sweetness with some, dark roast, and then a whisper of like black licorice. The body's really light on this one, so this is sort of where, and this isn't about comparing two beers like between this and the King and Kettle one, but anyways, this one drinks definitely like a lager, very lightweight. A little bit of spritzy carbonation. It's got a little bit of like just like your generic noble hop bitterness, just a little bit of a bite. And then it's got, I would have preferred that this had a little bit more of a fuller body or a fuller flavor or anything like that. But then you sort of have to remember that you're drinking a lager. So it's going to be very thin and watery a little bit. So the roasted notes do carry through, and then there's a touch of chocolate that sort of hits you a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I think this was better before, or my memory is just bad. I don't know. It just feels like this at one point in time was a little bit chewier for a 5% lager, rather than just a very thin, watered down lager I'm drinking right now. But I guess for a 5% black lager, you're looking for something that's easy drinking, that gives you some roasty toasty notes, and I guess to that point, this sort of hits it. So for style, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I think it sort of it hits all the notes you sort of want. For personal preference, I'm going to give it an 8. I just like the flavors to be a little bit more robust, a little bit more punch in the face. It would have been nice if that licorice sort of carried through a little bit on the taste, the licorice on the nose. But yeah, that's it. And I think that's about all I have to say about this one. Yeah. So yeah, so 9 for style, 8 for personal preference.
Nice. All right, let's move over to Radlar.
Yay, Dab dark beer. Now, I don't know too much about European style beers, like what to look for and whatever. But I do. It is obviously dark brown. Yeah. I don't taste like any chocolate or anything. However, I think it would be mostly like roasted nut. I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of that usually, but it's surprisingly good. And I can, because it's still in the can, but I can still see kind of a, how can I say, not the mousse, but the head. There's some head, not too much, but like just enjoyably enough head. This is not just it's not like a generic dark version of a beer. This is a good dark beer from Europe, and I'm giving it a good out of 10. For European, I'm giving it a good 8.5. Overall style, I mean, the color, I guess is good, but I can't see it because it's in the can. But I think it's okay. 8.5 all the way. 8.5 both sides.
Nice.
I love this, and we'll buy it again because it was cheap. It was only like $2.65 or $2.35 even.
Right on. Sounds tasty.
And yeah, it is good. If you haven't had this one, if you like dark beer, this is good. I haven't had too many, but usually not a fan of it. But this I will buy again for sure. And
Right.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay, let's move it on over to Craig. And I see that it's mostly gone. How is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite. I mean, I know the ABV is like, what was it, 4.8. So I mean, it's going to have a light body, but but it's actually quite. I mean, I would like a bit more of that body, but again, it's the style, I guess. It's actually really, considering it's got obviously roasted malts and stuff in it. It's very still to the style. Take away from that, it's still very kind of crisp, refreshing, usual traits really. But the mouthfeel is really kind of quite smooth and creamy as well, which is nice. I think what else again? There's some. It's more of a light roasted kind of malt. There's hints of chocolate in there, maybe a touch of coffee, but not crazy. But yeah, apart from that, there's also like a residual kind of citrusy kind of note. As I was saying, like on the aroma, the black IPA kind of thing, it's got that kind of vibe to it. But still, it's a nice beer. It's easy drinking, and it's something different for sure. Right, then I'll give it a 8 out of 10s. 10 out of 10 within the 10 scale or whatever. 7 out of 10 then. 3.5 on the untapped scale. Both sides. It's nice.
Nice.
Especially brewed beer. But yeah, it's all right. Not too bad at all. Enjoyable.
Sounds good.
And vegan friendly, so they can't.
Oh, good. That's good. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
I was really worried that they're going to throw some smoked meat in there.
Yep.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have.
Or what do you call it? An isinglass or something you put in Guinness?
Yeah.
Well,
This is a
fish bladder oil.
I think they stopped doing that, but
Your camera dropped off, Radar.
There actually are some breweries that still use isinglass.
but what if you consider
Yeah,
yeast
no.
an animal? Is it then vegan friendly?
Well, that's the funny thing because it is a living organism, right? So it's like,
oh well.
I don't know. Now, hey, Craig, which hops did you say they used in that? Was it Columbus or?
Yeah, Columbus. Yeah.
Columbus. Yeah, that's a weird one to use for a Kolsch because you're going to get all the piney and resinous notes to it. It's almost like sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's got a bit of that. There's a slight kind of earthiness as well, as you kind of expect for that sort of hop. It's giving off more of that's kind of light citrus note that I sometimes get off black IPAs where I have them. You know what I mean? It's got that. Just that it's just an aroma, isn't it? You just kind of, and a taste that you just associate with certain things. It's got a bit of that in it for me anyway. It's cool. It's like I've never had a black Kolsch before, so
Yeah, I've never had a black Kolsch.
Sounds interesting. I've never even heard of a black Kolsch, but hey, I figured black and German.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's listed as just Kolsch and on tap. So
Oh well.
Kolsch
Yeah.
roasted.
Still, I had a dark Goza one time. It was kind of interesting.
That's not right.
Actually, I liked it. All right, so let's pan through and just go back to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hi.
Hi. Of all the beers that you heard here tonight, if you were paying attention, which one would you like to have?
I wasn't, but I think I saw your beer preview ahead of time, so I want your beer. It looked interesting.
The
You didn't talk about
Flying Boats Black Lager.
Yeah, I saw that one. I like the
I didn't
can.
talk about my flavor notes, did I?
You haven't talked about yours yet.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's go back to me and consider it a fuck up on my part, because otherwise Greg's making a blind choice here. I have to be live up to him. All right. So what I got out of this for flavor notes was I got a little bit of smoky tobacco, a really rich, super dark chocolate, like really, really, really bitter chocolate with a touch of caramel at the finish of that chocolate note. Is a little bit of this like almost like a rubbery, like a burnt rubber note in the roast. Like it's super roasty to the point where it's getting rubbery almost. There's black licorice in it. Which I actually wrote that comment down before Ashley gave his tasting notes. So there you go. I did get a little bit of black licorice in the flavor, as well as this earthy, lingering, roasty bitterness with a hint of licorice in the finish. It's got a nice finish on it and a nice body, but it's a little heavy for a lager. It's like that. Like you almost expect like lagers to have like a thinner, cleaner finish and a thinner body. This doesn't really quite have that. I still got to say that this is nice and rich and flavorful, and I'm actually really liking the flavors I get off of this thing. So for the style, I'm deducting a couple points because the body's not quite there, but 8.5 for the style and 8 for overall enjoyment. Cool. Now let's go back over to any comments there. Nope, of course not. And Greg, what do you think now? Do you still want to try it?
After listening to Nick's review, I no longer want your beer. I want to have Craig's beer.
Damn it. Shouldn't have given you a choice. But I wanted to be inclusive.
Hey, you know what, Nick? You educated me.
Here you go. All right.
Try Greg's beer as well. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
I think that'd be one I'll be up to. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So to show you that Craig and Greg are the same person.
There you go.
They rhyme. Anyway, Ashley,
There's
out of all the beers that are here, which would you rather have?
I've had Greg's and I've had Radar's. Actually, I have one of Radar's in my fridge right now. I'm probably going to have this right afterwards. So I am going to go with the bombastic flavors to steal a page from Paul in your beer, Nick.
Wow.
Wow.
I want all the flavors.
Want all the flavors? Shoot, I could have grabbed one of these to send to you. Anyway. Oh, well. Yeah, shit happens. Another time. All right, cool. Radar, of all the beers we heard here tonight, which one would you like to have?
The one I have now, actually.
There you go.
Somebody else's.
This is really. I think I would like yours. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
if you could send me a beer mo, wink, wink.
Yeah, we'll see it at some point. All right, and of course, Craig, what was your thoughts? Which one of the beers that you heard here tonight would you like to try?
Not Greg's.
Oh, you had some time to think about that.
No.
Come on, check VAR.
What? I wasn't paying attention. What was Greg's beer? What was it?
Check for
Dark. It's probably that.
Yeah, the Budvar, I guess, is called in UK.
Budvar. Yeah. So probably that, because
Says be dark.
it's not one of them. You don't see it in the supermarket, that's for sure. It is around, but it's just been one I've been able to try for a few years. But it's just it's like. But yeah, probably that.
Is it something you'd have to go to like a more dedicated bottle shop or something rather than a grocery store?
You probably wouldn't get it in a bottle. You probably get it on one or two online places, but very kind of specific kind of thing.
Oh, weird.
There's only one place that I know that's, and yeah, it's online, through the post kind of job, which I'm not doing at the moment. So, but yeah, probably that. Yeah.
Nice. All right, and let's go back to me for a second. What beer of everybody's I've heard here tonight would I like to have? I have to go with Craig's, just because it sounds interesting. I mean, maybe it's not the highest rated tonight on tonight's panel, but as soon as I heard Black Kolsch, I'm like, what? Hello? And especially considering if I really wanted to check for a dark, I've got one right here. If I wanted the Silversmith's lager, I've had it before. And I guess I'd like to try Radar's, but between Radar's and Craig's wins. And I think that's 1 point for every beer and 2 points for me, so I win. Yeah,
Oh,
There you go.
Nick.
You
I
win.
win.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner chicken dinner. Alrighty, so we don't have any comments here, but we haven't had anybody ask the magic question of what is something we're doing next week.
Oh shit! What
Oh,
are we
shit.
doing something next week?
Are we doing something next week? We could always take a week off and not do anything. There's only 3 viewers, so it's not like they care. 3 viewers and one of them's probably
Nick, we care. We're like a family that has dinner once a week and drinks.
Right? What? Lee says, what's next week's beer?
Oh, good work, Lee.
Next week's beer is from Amsterdam Brewing, and it's Makes You Pucker. Dry hop sour. Dry humped sour.
It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Well,
fucking
this is your idea, Greg, again. So I'm blaming you.
Yeah, but okay.
Have you had it yet?
Alex Pucker.
Me?
No,
Yeah.
I
Greg?
Well,
don't believe I've ever had it. I just picked up a can because somebody told me we might anal it one day.
What?
what? I should be able to get this in on
That's his
the
voice.
You should be able to get that radar.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
no. It's just yeah. But I'll be able.
You can get it.
I've heard it's pretty intense. Rhea, somebody was
want
talking.
It's like sexual camping. It's intense.
Who was it that said that? Well, they mentioned we could do this at some point. Somebody said that I will hork another one down. I think it was Ashley.
It was either me or Redbeard because we both had it. We both shared the same thought.
If
Not
you
to-
used the word "hark" the beard down, that was Greg.
Yeah, I would have never used the word hork.
Okay, I would use the word hork.
I'm above that.
Hork.
Sounds like saying
Yeah, hork.
Too classy.
It's like plug your nose and keep drinking. All right. Yeah, I heard this is pretty intense stuff, so I guess I'm half looking forward to it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. Makes You Pucker. I'm pretty sure this is a brand new beer from Amsterdam Brewing, which is the makers of Greg's favorite beer, Double Tempest.
They didn't call that an IPA, did they? Or is it just?
No, it just says dry hop sour.
they're not even pretending it's an IPA.
I love dry hop sour IPAs. So we all
You know what? Sour IPAs aren't terrible.
They're fucking bullshit style. They don't make sense.
Well,
I like
That's a
dry.
I'm not gonna, we'll neither confirm or deny that crap, but I had one from Quebec one time that I really liked it. Anyway, I think that's enough for one night. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Lee for texting in the comments, even if some of them were kind of rude. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. And remember, I guess the biggest thing I can finish at the end of this thing is just educate yourself. For passing too much judgment. What's going on right now?
There you go.
All right. Thanks for watching, folks.
And just
Cheers.
remember, don't be an asshole. That's good advice.
Sometimes you're a good guy, Greg.
Very